Live from YMSL Studios, welcome to the Dashless Report, Week 5 reviews. I'm your host, Bobby Morabia, with Douglas Dweck from Jersey Shore, and NRJ from Maurice's Pieces, I believe.
I think he's under there.
Yeah?
Yep, it's me under here, very embarrassed after yesterday's ball game. I attended business meetings like this. I actually was in the airport today. They were a little suspicious of what was going on under here, but I told them I'm part of that group that lost to the Bachelors yesterday. So
and they knew right away, right? It's
quite
big news.
embarrassing.
It's big news. They knew right away.
But now I think I'm ready to unveil it to
Wow.
the Dashless Report. Because,
rough 24 hours, NRJ,
huh? Very, very rough 24 hours, and not much we can say. We lost to the Bachelors or the Bachelorettes or whatever you want to call them, and it's going to be a loss that probably haunts us the rest of the year.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And we have a very special guest in studio this week, legendary catcher, future Hall of Famer, father of Chucky Abady, as he's known now, Mr. Chucky Abady.
Welcome to the studio.
Dr. Chucky Abady, by the way.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Bob. Thank you. I think I've earned it. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you, Chuck. So you were part of history also yesterday. You saw that, well, you didn't actually see it, but what do you think the Bachelors, after that 0-9 start, getting their first victory?
Well, I think you called it. I mean, you know, I'm an avid fan of the show, and we watch every week religiously. Not with a kippah, whatever, but religiously we watch it, and you picked them to win a game.
Yeah, well, actually, they wanted to have me committed to Bellevue after last week, but
that's
you know,
that was the thinking. But no, you were right.
I thought that
on.
team was coming together at the right time. They were getting closer and closer, and I thought it was a trap game after the first game for Maurice's Pieces, but nonetheless, that was by far the biggest story of the day yesterday, and if you know, I was there watching the game. I had front row seats, and you know, nobody really gave him a shot. Even you know, not much hoopla of the game. Even the scorekeeper decided to take the day off yesterday and not do the game. But you know, it was a magical moment. You would think it was Game 7 of the World Series the way they celebrated, and it was good to see because that team been getting killed every week. They kept coming. They show up and they battle. It was nice to see. I know Norman's not going to agree with me, but it was you know, infamy you're going to be living in now.
Yeah, they lost 11-1, right? The first game.
They lost 10-1 the first game.
10-1 the first game. There were even mid-game interviews that I saw today on the YMSL network of Jeffrey Sackett saying they belong in the DSN Girls League. So it was making fun of the Bachelors or the Bachelorettes, even as he called them at the time.
Yeah, he was.
So
yeah,
that's
he was saying
that's
he's going to beat them by
rough.
4 touchdowns.
Well, if you look at them each and every week, Game 1 they get blown out, and Game 2 they battle because the other team probably takes them too lightly. They almost beat the Marshall team last week. They had the lead,
and they lost 20-0 the first game.
The week before against Red, they were only down 2-0 late in the game, and then against us, I mean, Maurice's Pieces played a very, very bad game in the field, at the bat, but I got to give credit to Elliot Simhorn on the Bachelors. From the third inning, he was counting down the outs. They were up 1-0 or 2-0 early, and routine ground ball to short, and he yells out 14 more outs,
right.
13 more outs.
Right. Like the Omer a little bit, counting down the Omer.
Sort of like the Omer. No, the
counting
up. Right.
But almost nice.
But looking forward to the win.
It was like Al Michaels with "Do You Believe in Miracles?" 10 seconds, 5 seconds, like that.
Good analogy there. Yeah.
And then fittingly, the last high pop, which we hit maybe. I have to look at the book. We hit maybe 15 fly balls or high pops in that second game.
Yeah.
The last one was like in shallow center, and Simhorn plays short center, and he's drifting back. It looked like he may have misjudged it for a minute, but very fittingly that the last out went to him, and then the entire team crowded on top of him. It really was like they won the World Series.
I heard that on other fields they gave them the standing ovation.
The
other fields
stopped
on the other
yes,
fields.
Memorial 2 stopped their game. And both teams
gave
stopped, and they turned around. Everyone was going nuts. The umpires, not only judging by a few of their calls in that game, but even after, were giving them a round of applause. And But you got to tip your cap, as they say. All the credit has to go to the Bachelors. They actually showed up every week. They've been taking a ton of abuse from all of us. And they went out, they showed up, and they made all the plays they needed to do to win the game.
I think, Bobby, they have to be referred to as the Bachelors from now on.
Yeah, that's it.
I think they've earned
Lose the skirt.
that misnomer of bachelorettes no longer applies.
I think, and ironically, as crazy as this sounds, the Bachelors are still alive for a playoff spot, which is an amazing thing. And the most amazing part about it is the two teams they have to catch, they play the next 2 weeks, so they really control their own destiny.
Control their own destiny. Wow. I hate to face them in the first round.
And I hate to tell you,
You know.
if the Bachelors make the playoffs, that could be the #1 story in YMSL history. If that ever transpires.
Yeah.
After an
It's,
0-9
like
start.
Norman hitting for the cycle,
Right.
You know, like,
Let's talk about Norman for a minute.
Oh,
So now everybody has this Norman versus the Bachelors watch. Wins versus Norman's hits. Why don't you tell us now? We know they got a win. We know you had a hit 2 weeks ago. So you're tied, basically, depending on what you did. So what did you do yesterday?
Well, I think I did, on a personal note, in game one, I did pretty well. I went 2 for 3.
Wow, 2 for 3 is good.
A single
So
and a double.
you're 2 hits out of them.
Yeah, so I'm actually batting .750 in my last 4 at bats.
And both clean
Man
rips, by
majors.
the way. I want to add, I was there for both of them.
Thank you, Bob. And,
In the gap, smashed them both.
Yeah, so
So how did that? But
who
then
are you
wait.
facing on that game? Who's the pitcher?
the pitcher was who's the
Edward
pitcher?
Cohen.
Edward Cohen.
Edward Cohen, yeah.
Excellent hitter, not the best pitcher in the world, but the whole league gets to face him.
Right.
So why not
So
me?
now, if you're, let me get something
Sammy
straight.
Cross is living off of it.
Exactly, but 8-8.
A-Fade, yeah.
So let's get something straight here. You said you were 3 for your last 4,
Yeah,
and 2 for 3 in the first game.
2 for 3 in the first game.
So up until now, you're still 3 for your last 4.
yeah. Yes,
You didn't bat in the second game?
I did not bat in the second game, but
Oh my God! You didn't bat in the game that they lost.
Maurice's Pieces has
I
13
didn't know
players
this.
on the roster.
No, but you
trying to
gotta
tell
go
you
with the hot
something?
hand.
I
You gotta
don't
go with the hot
believe
hand.
it.
2 for 3.
Yeah.
They only do that to me in my league, you know.
Right.
Go 2 for 3, and then
they did.
A.B.
So
Salem comes in. And
This
sums
is
up.
breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
that
very hard.
NRJ did not bat in
No,
the
that's
second game,
not
and they
breaking
lost
news.
the game.
That's not
That's
breaking
the-
news.
But you know
But,
something?
what happened was we have 13 people on our team. Maurice is actually very fair with, he tells you in the beginning, you're going to back game 1 or you're going to back game 2. He actually took himself out of game 1 when it became 5 or 6 nothing. And, you know, he's very fair with the at-bats.
Well, with a 106 batting average.
Yeah.
Was you think maybe Maurice was afraid that you were going to pass him in hits? He's, I think, got 3 hits now. You have 3. Could that have something to do with the benching?
I don't know. I don't look at it as a benching again, but hopefully I'll continue my hot streak going into next week when we have a huge game against the insane organization. And
so they were saving you.
should be
They were
what I
saving
can.
you. They were
I think
saving
they're
you.
saving me,
I
like
mean,
sort of like
Chucky, you did that with Stevie Azer.
exactly. You got to
Okay,
save
it's the same.
my
They're saving him.
But when
Yeah,
they change our scouting
because
report,
Norman's
but
on a
Norman,
Norman's on a hit count, just like A's on a game count.
Right.
So, but you know, again, you know, it was what was most impressive about that game yesterday. A 2-0 lead, and till the 5th inning, then Maurice's Pieces tied it up, and you know, you can see like, oh no, here we go again. They thought it was the floodgates were going to open up. They actually held him that inning. Big play with Eddie Risty at the bases. What happened exactly with that? He got controversial play that ended the inning. And,
Yeah, what happened was it Eddie Risty? I don't think it was Eddie Risty.
No, who was it?
I forgot who it was, but there was a play at third to end an inning, which looked like didn't look like a great
was it
call.
interfere or the base was up and second?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
It was Jordy Ramel, that's who
Yeah.
it was. And it was a rundown back and forth, and second base popped out of the ground, and he couldn't touch second, he went back to third, he was out at third.
And that ended
Very
the inning.
gazzy, strange play.
And that ended the inning.
And it ended the
Popped
inning.
out of the ground, huh?
Yeah.
Popped out of
You
the
don't see
ground.
that too often.
You don't see it too often.
All on its own. It just exploded.
Popped out of the ground.
But the way things have been going for the Bachelors, you thought, you know, that could happen in their game. So,
And by the way, Bob, we were down 6-2 in the ninth, in the seventh, whatever, and we scored 2 runs on an error. We thought the floodgates were about to open again, but they held on.
They held it with 2 fly balls. So that was that game. They had salvaged a sweep, and like we said, it was you know, incredible victory for them. And congratulations to that organization. And
Well earned.
now we're going to go for a break from our sponsors.